Hello, this is the group of Taylor, Matt, Evan, and Zhangjing, and we are going to be showing you the process of bricklaying on a new building going up in downtown Iowa City. As you can see here, we're doing a sweeping view of the entire project, showing you all the different processes and how high up on the ground that we were during this process. As you can see here, we are going to see a view of the Sheridan, which just shows you where we were downtown. Next, we're going to be looking at some of the inputs for this process, which are bricks. And this next image I'm showing you is the mixer in which we mix the mortar for the project that's going to go in between the bricks. Here you can see the mixing machine that we use to make the mortar. Inside of this is going to be mason sand, lime, and water. This is what's actually going to go in between the bricks that we'll see the process later on. This all in all takes about 5 minutes to do all the mixing for the mortar, for all of the mortar that goes in between the bricks. You can see here this is about 80 pounds dry, or about 500 pounds in total when it's all done. You're going to see the construction crew member right now go behind the machine and rinse it out with water. This is very important because if they don't do this, the mortar gets hard within the machine and it slows down the process later on, which is going to be detrimental in this problem. Now you'll see a construction worker taking the tub and moving it over to the next stage in the process and hooking it up to this crane. This crane is going to take about a minute total to get to the top of the building that they are currently working at. This is one of the slower parts of our process, although it is not the bottleneck. They need to do this for every single input that they want to bring to the top to start laying the bricks. So they'll have to bring the mortar up at one time, and later on they'll have to bring up the brick as well. Pretty soon here you're going to see the tub get to the top of the building. Once this happens, you're going to see the construction workers right now opening the door and bringing the tub inside the top of the building. After they bring the tub inside the top of the building, you're going to see them close the doors to ensure safety of the workers. After that, they are going to lower the tub down to the ground so that they are able to utilize that. Once they do this, you're going to see the construction workers come and unhook the chains from the tub so that they can move it to the next step of the process. Now you're going to see the construction worker scoop out the mortar and move it over to where the bricklayer is currently working. This makes it more of a streamlined process for the bricklayer. Now you can see the bricklayer here is laying out the mortar to use in between the bricks. This stage is the bottleneck of our process. Currently there are 5 people doing bricklaying and 5 people doing all extra activity in the current process. You'll now see that he's going to lay down the bricks on top of the mortar. You'll see him scraping the excess mortar that is falling off from the bricks to save from problems later on. Although this is not part of our process that we're analyzing, later on they will come through and power wash the entire building, so they want to make sure all excess mortar is removed to save them from having problems later on in the process. That is the end of our bricklaying process. This is what the building will look like that's set to be completed in late August, that the university is renting out for the next 2 years for overflow housing for dorms. So currently our process capacity is about 4,500 bricks, or 560 bricks per hour, although actually they're currently laying about 3,500 bricks a day, putting their utilization at 77.77%. So some recommendations we would have for the people that are working on this construction crew is to hire more bricklayers. As we talked about before, that is the bottleneck in the process, so that would increase their capacity. Also, it would be helpful to cross-train support people to increase capacity and decrease the bottleneck. Currently, they have the same amount of support people and bricklayers, but bricklayers are where they need more assistance. Thank you so much for listening to our project, and we hope you enjoyed learning the process of bricklaying.